This is the story about a boy named Simon. Simon was abandoned by his parents shortly after he was born. The only possession he was left with was his mother's jacket. Simon always had a sense of justice and wanted to protect those who needed it. This got him into trouble a lot, and he was beaten up a lot. But he learnt and trained to protect those who need it most, standing up for those who can't stand up for themselves. And he never gave up, no matter who or what he faced. He was called a troublemaker. He would be adopted and brought back countless times due to his reputation with the royals. He eventually gave up on being adopted. Until one day, an opportunity presented itself in the shape of a dwarven man. "Greetings, lad. Name's Gregor. If you want to adopt someone, pick someone else." "Lad, I ain't here to adopt you. I want to offer you a job." "What kind of job?" "Odd jobs as a mercenary." So, kill people?
Mercs do more than kill people, lad. What you say?
Simon, being sick of staying at the orphanage, took Gregor's offer, and the two set off. Gregor needed Simon's help. Gregor's guild, the Eagle's Talon, was going bankrupt and would be disbanded in a few months. Gregor wanted Simon to take on the task to reignite the Eagle's Talon's reputation. Simon accepted, and Gregor trained him. Wanting to get stronger, day and night, Simon trained until he was ready. The day came where Simon would take on his first task, killing the Admiral, a powerful necromancer.
Okay, lad, you ready?
Of course.
Show 'em what you're made of, lad.
Simon headed off to fight the Admiral on his shipwreck.
You must have gotten lost, young one. Leave now while the Admiral allows it.
I am right where I need to be, Admiral.
Foolish boy, you know not what you're up against. Arise.
Bring it on. Simon fought through the Admiral's undead horde and became victorious. This victory sparked the guild's reputation and started Simon's journey as a mercenary. He fought. He defended. He made friends like Helena, Sierra, and the Masked King.
Don't forget, Twitch chat. Follow and subscribe.
He made enemies, some of which became family. He suffered losses and heartbreak. And he found love. However, one event changed everything. Simon proposed to Summer, which she happily accepted. And together, they planned, in a week, when Simon finishes his last mission, they would retire from mercenary work. So Simon headed off. A week passed, and Simon returned to the guild, with Summer nowhere to be found. Not in his room, not in the training grounds, and not in the war room. Simon found Gregor and asked, "Hey, Gregor, have you seen Summer?"
She left shortly after you did, lad. She hasn't returned yet.
Where did she go?
To get an artifact called the Spider's Eye.
An elite mission?
Aye, lad.
Did she take others, or did she go alone? A guild council representative walked in before Gregor could answer. She did not take others, despite being advised to. So then where is she? I'll go get her. It's not so simple, Simon. Let us talk in the war room. The guild council representative set up the war room as Simon, Gregor, and Summer's godfather Roger all enter. Thank you for allowing me to brief you on this mission. The object Summer attempted to locate was called the Spider's Eye, a powerful artifact. The mission had one elite star, but due to Summer's failure to return, it has increased to 2. So you let her go without a team? I advised against it, but due to her rank, she was allowed to try on her own. She said she wanted to impress you. The location for the mission is the dark caves near the wood's exit. As for your team, I am going alone.
Lad, don't be dumb. I don't advise you going at all. Let Ace and his team go. Summer's probably... you know.
I'm going.
You better bring her back alive.
I'll do my best. I cannot allow you to go alone. As required by the Guild Handbook, I am the highest ranking mercenary in this continent. I will go alone. Then you will forego any guild points. I don't give a shit about the points. Sorry.
Lad, wait.
Simon left the room, with Gregor not far behind.
Wait up, lad.
I'm going. Don't try and stop me.
Look, lad. This ain't your fault. I wasn't gonna stop you, just... Are you prepared for what you might find?
I have no choice. Summer is missing, and I don't want others hurt if this goes wrong. Thank you for being the family I never had.
Lad, make it back alive, you hear?
Simon left to go and save his love. Simon traveled through the woods and found the cave. It was dark. But Simon always has a backup plan. Simon traveled deep into the cave until he saw a faint light. He found an opening to a dimly lit room, covered in webs and many spiders crawling around. Her sword. Simon takes Summer's sword. He sees a figure he recognizes.
Summer!
But something is different. Summer?
How good. I was wondering when I would have my next meal.
Something is wrong. Summer, I came to save you and bring you home. With me. But it was too late. Summer was gone. And Simon was in disbelief.
So tasty. And you handed it right to me.
Injured and conflicted, Simon knew what he had to do, as hard as it was going to be.
Still got some fight left in you? Good, I hate when they die quick.
He was going to bring her home. Simon swallowed his fear and lunged at Summer. The two traded blows.
Where's the spider's eye? I put it next to this body's heart. I knew someone would want it. You'll have to kill them for it.
Simon's heart shattered. His chest tightened as he was mourning the loss of his Summer. Simon took a deep breath and plunged the sword into her chest. I'm sorry, my love.
No! Ah!
The sword broke the artifact's hold on Summer. He was turning back to normal. Just long enough to say goodbye. Simon, I knew you'd save me. You always do. But, Summer, you're not your fault. No, I love you. Always. Summer was too injured and weak from the fight. She passed away in his arms. Happy, her hero came to her rescue no matter what. This tragic event sent ripples throughout time and space, starting the multiverse, where we see how Simon would have handled Summer's death. He could have continued to be a hero, honor her memory while going down in history. Or he could have given in to grief and rage and become the most feared villain alive. He could have gone mad with experimentations and lost himself. Or he could have left and continued life elsewhere. Sometimes we never truly find out where some Simons end up. However, this fixed point isn't the only ripple. As a multiverse is a collection of infinite choices and changes, there are so many different universes to prove this. Some of which are out of Simon's hands, and some of which are choices Simon made, for better or worse. These changes barely scratch the surface. There are some so vastly different you wouldn't think they were connected. Some serious, silly, scary, friendly, powerful, and some so terrifying they had to be locked away out of fear. But it all started from one man. One hero and his many, many tragedies and triumphs. The end. So, how was that? What did we think? That took, honestly, that was a lot shorter than I originally thought it was. I thought it was going to take a bit longer, not like 15-ish minutes, but yeah, thank you very much. I will be going through a discussion with it, but I have some stuff I need to do first. Loved it, amazing. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. It took a lot of work, and as you saw in the credits, I had some help from a lot of people, including DJ, Coda, Taddy, Dove, and Ren. I had a lot of help, which I do appreciate. Yeah, this story was in the works for like a couple years, but more fleshed out recently. But anyway, we will go through a discussion in a moment. That synthetic skull guy looked a bit different. Wonder what's going on with that. Oh yeah, oh crap, I completely forgot about that. I mean, nothing happened, nothing changed, don't worry about it. Smile. Completely forgot about that, sorry. I should have made you a previous thing. Anyway. So, why am I in yellow? Why is the yellow background? That's a good question. Well, to answer your question, how am I going to answer this without just saying, yeah. Congrats on your re-debut, thank you. No, good, fair enough. Better to hint at it, methinks. True, true. There. Speaking of things. So I'm in front of a yellow background for a very specific reason. And I must thank DJ, and I must thank you, people at home, for your continued support. Even if it's just you liking a tweet, you sitting in chat, it all helps. It all means a lot to me. I'm just a little guy. I'm not a very popular dude, but I'm glad I'm able to just talk shit on the internet and have some people who like it. So, yeah, I do appreciate every single one of you. Friends, acquaintances, etc. And this, I'm very happy to announce. And I'm very happy to do. Thanks to your support, I can finally ascend. So, let me just read out an ascension thing. An ascension chant, if you will. Formed from human to make a celestial, an archangel born from human rage and vengeance. My creation shall be my enemy's undoing. And here we are! Hell yeah! Thank you very much. And thank you, DJ. Go commission them. Very cool. This is my new complete thing. You may have been, if you've been looking at my stuff on Twitter and my social media, you'll have noticed I've been changing stuff every now and then, just a little bit, just a little bit. I did it on my Discord before. It looks so good, DJ. Holy shit, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. DJ art, very good. But yeah, this is gonna be completely my avatar from now on. You need the beloved? True. Yeah, this is my avatar. Happy to work with you. We're gonna be working soon. Smile. You look great. Thank you very much. But yeah, I've been wanting to change this for ages. It's just, I needed to get it done, really. But, yeah. This is gonna be my default avatar now, and I am actually swapping my emotes currently, so there will be new emotes next stream, which will be tomorrow. And yeah. So, let us discuss, because there's stuff we gotta do. Stuff we gotta talk about. And I gotta explain some stuff on that PowerPoint, don't I? So let me just quickly updated Abyss Wheeze. There is an updated Abyss Wheeze. Yes, there is. I don't know. Actually, can I put those on right now? Is that a thing? Oh, I completely forgot. I had a thing I was gonna put music on, but I completely forgot about it. It's fine. It's not an Abyss stream without some scarf. There we go. All right. I'm gonna see if this works. Let's see if this works. Remove slot. If we remove this one from slot. This should now work. Probably. Oh, wait, no, I don't want that one to be, I want that to be sub. I want that one to be follower. And then we're gonna remove the EP, none. We're gonna do follower, and then the hydrate. This hydrate. I should be doing this later, but I'm gonna do it now. That's also a follower one, and then we've got Boogie, which can go in there, and we'll remove the other one. Okay, that should be everything, I think. Currently. Let's see. Pat Pat Slay, thank you. So many. Yeah, I had about 5 I needed to put up. Because I also put my Dancing Angel one. Okay, I think they might have, do I have to reload the stream? Not the stream. Do I have to reload like the browser? Like what? Oh no, you can use them. You can use them now, like this one. Yippee! Cool. You might just have to reload your browser, that's all. But yeah. We are gonna go through and talk about the PowerPoint now. Yes, it's a PowerPoint. I didn't think that would, yeah, I completely forgot to mention, but yes, it was a PowerPoint. Also, Kosho, if you're still here, thanks for the follow. I did have my alerts off for this stream, but yeah, I wanted to let you know that I actually saw it, and I wanted to point it out. So anyway, let me just slide you over here, because we don't need that anymore. Is this still, yeah, there we go. Okay. Are we ready for the discussion? Hell yeah. Oh, look at all of you. Yeah, I wanted to put you all here. I don't know whether this is gonna be my complete default, etc. I'm gonna probably look around stuff, but most of it I'm gonna keep is yeah. Give us the reading comprehension questions, King. My brain is blanking. Why am I Glastrier? Oh, if you you haven't changed yours. If you go under the stream, if you're on desktop, it's in the extensions. If you're on mobile, it's at the top right. There is stream avatars. You can change your Pokemon or your box thing, whatever you are. Actually, do you want me to just assign you ones? I can just do that. Hang on, let me just assign you guys real quick. Reload that. Page. Moth, give me a Pokemon. What do you... Oh, unless you got it. But I can change you to whatever. You can be a... There you go. You're a Mimikyu. I don't know Pokemon. Ah, shit. Do you want to be a Kirby? I don't know what I got. I got a Kirby. You can be Kirby. Unless you want me to give you a Pokemon. Because, Love wins. True. I don't think Kirby is a Pokemon. Kirby is not a Pokemon, no. Assign me a Pokemon. Ooh, that's a good point. Let's see. What do we have? Because I had to remove a few. Kirby can be a Pokemon sometimes. This is true. If people who know you a little better, like go to DJ or etc., assign you one first, I can take theirs instead. Kirby could be a Pokemon for all I know. It would make sense, wouldn't it? I'm just pretty sure. That's valid. We have... I'll put you as this for the minute. I'm gonna What about that? Do you want to be the emo chicken bird? Emo flame chicken? Because otherwise... I'll be emo flame chicken. Alright, cool. Someone can assign you a Pokemon later. Zofia caught. So true. Alright, so did anyone have questions? Because I'll take questions now. Otherwise I'll just go through and we can, yeah. Did anyone have any questions they were confused about? Or things that they wanted to bring up before I start our discussion? I think I might need to charge my Tamagotchi, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna charge my Tamagotchi. So otherwise, I'll go through and just talk about what, each little bit. Okay, so, if you have any questions, just type them in chat, I'll respond. But, yeah, so this is Simon here. Oh wait, you can't see this, can you? No, that's fine. So this is Simon. Simon's the little guy that I like. He's my little guy. You can actually have proper Simon lore, like how he was made as a thing. A tiny small Simon. So true. So Simon was actually made because of an SMP I was previously in, which was called SMP with 2 E's. I was looking for cool adventurous skins and came across a cool adventurous skin that I was like, I'm gonna take assets and have a look at it. So I took the vibe of it and I made my first skin, which is kind of shit, but it's much better now. I also have to change my skin to this. Which I can't ever get Angel Abyss to actually work properly. It's, yeah, that's how it goes though. It is, yeah. So that's how he was made. The story was made around then. Then I fleshed it out a bit more during Blight. And then I fleshed it out more start of Rift and now. Skins are a process. They are a process, yeah. But yeah. So this is Simon, and this is his little orphanage. I made sure it looked like disheveled because orphanages in fantasy worlds are usually not great. And his was, yeah, I love the grey beds, thank you. I didn't know what color to make him aside from, like, white or something. Very little Orphan Annie. I have not, I don't know what that is, but I assume probably. So, who are these? These two on the right, these are royal brats. They are kids who pick on the quote-unquote peasants because they're royal kids and you can't beat them up, otherwise their daddy will execute you. And stuff like that, so they're brats, basically. And they were picking on the little girl on the left, which is another orphan that Simon takes care of, because he's a little older than her. And he was like, hey yo, that's not very cool. And they went, alright, loser. And we know how that went. And so, Simon watched some of the guards, which is a very interesting way of learning, but he picks up fighting techniques pretty quick. So he pretty much picked up on some of the brutal ways that they were sparring with each other, just to use it against some kids who were actually a lot older than him. And he kicked their ass. Funny thing, there was also supposed to be a third one, but I couldn't fit them in the screen, so there was not a third one. And good for him. Good for him indeed. Okay, and then we got the beds. Simon getting kind of upset he's not getting adopted. Gregor. Okay, so Gregor was made kind of early-ish because I wanted to make Simon not have parents purely because that gives good storytelling, and also yeah, Simon, I've actually fleshed out his parents a little bit, but that's for later maybe. So Gregor was actually, so the name Gregor I got from Fire Emblem Awakening, because for those who know, I'm gonna poke you later. You can poke me now if you want. I'm answering stuff now. Feel free. I mean, you could either poke me now or Poke me on Discord whenever. I don't mind. Um, Gregor, I like Fire Emblem Awakening for the 3DS. That was the first Fire Emblem game I played. I love the Fire Emblem series. The newer ones are kind of not great, but yeah. Gregor the Beloved, Gregor the Beloved. I kind of butchered the voice, but also, oh, I completely forgot. I was gonna mention this. I read it as Simon would have read it because I specifically wanted Simon's voice to sort of come across on it. I love the voices. Thank you. I enjoyed the voices. Either works. But yeah. Um. So yeah, Gregor is a dwarven man who fought alongside Simon's mother and father. The Eagle's Talon was originally just called the Eagles, and it was made up of three pretty strong fighters. How old was Simon? Oh yeah, that's actually a good point. Simon was a child about this point, so he was about maybe 8 here. He was about 8, and then when he got like hired, which I'll get to, he was about 11. So it took a couple years. He was about 11 here, and during his training, he spent a year training, so he's 12 here. Tiny small. He's a little guy. So yeah, he's 12 when he takes on fighting the Admiral. Also with Gregor, so Gregor was originally a part of a team of 3. Who sent a 12-year-old to do murder? Him, because he's a shit parent. Gregor's actually Simon's godfather, which is never really expressed, yeah. We love training arc for small Simon. This was actually... I took inspiration from when I previously tried to make the guild. Because I was going to make the guild for... I think it was either Blight or Rift. One of the two. I wanted to make the guild, but I'm shit with outside buildings in Minecraft, so... Yeah. So the reason why he uses a battle, like a great axe, as opposed to, something that's a little lighter for him, is because he's fast and he's a lot stronger than he should be. So it's scary seeing someone like basically dodge attacks very quick and then hit you with a really, really strong weapon. Because he's quite strong. But yeah, Eagle's Talon made up of 3 people, Simon's mother, father, and Gregor. And so Gregor, being the godfather, kind of was like, I've got to adopt him at some point. Didn't actually know. He thought Simon died originally. So that's why Simon was only adopted, quote unquote, when he was 11. But yeah, the guild was actually a really fun part to make. Because I've never made like a proper inside. This is more like a kitchen cafeteria sort of area. Also, fun fact as well, I used Fire Emblem Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn dialogue scenes as inspiration for it, because that has sort of the same vibe. Okay. So, I will also mention this now. Because if you go through Rift, Simon specifically mentions he has never seen an undead before. That's on purpose. Because Rift Simon is completely different to canon Simon. This Simon is a completely different Simon. So there are stuff that I say as Simon on Rift, which just does not add up on actual canon. I will get to that when we talk about the multiverse and stuff. So, Admiral, I didn't actually have a design for him. All I knew was I needed someone like that. I needed a sort of pirate. And so the Admiral was actually one of the first fleshed out sort of stories I did with Simon. I told this story, I think it was on Luxiel's stream. I know Lux and Taddy were there to witness it. I don't remember if there was someone else. Oh, hey, nice. And again, Simon was 12. Yes, Simon's 12 at this point. So Simon, being a 12-year-old kid, is fighting the Admiral, who's roughly in his maybe 40s, 50s. But also, who knows, because he's kind of a necromancer, so yeah. Also, the hat was a bitch to make. I'm just gonna be honest. It was terrible to fucking make. I'm calling Fantasy Child Protective Services. Honestly, fair. Alright, so, the Admiral... I didn't have a story for the Admiral. I had a story for, like, Simon fighting the Admiral. No reason why the Admiral's there. I haven't thought that part through, but I've sort of just gone, he's in a shipwreck. Shipwreck is, yeah. So, I made generic zombies. There were supposed to be two more. Semantics, yeah, yeah. There was supposed to be two more. Again, couldn't fit them on the screen because I didn't want it to be too small. I would have added a bit more of a fighting scene, but also the backstory stuff. Okay, here. These were orcs I found on Google Images. I don't remember what they're from. I think they were D&D orcs, if I remember correct. I used a concept art. But this, I'm actually pretty happy with my deviation with Simon, which if you go to my Ko-Fi, there's a lot of different, like, a lot of differences between the orcs and what I do for commissions. So for commissions, I usually have like a little character that resembles Simon on the left. Or rather, they resemble the sort of similar shape. I don't tend to deviate, but I have been, especially for these orcs. And the thing I'll get to in the next page, which is a throwback. Okay, so this. Random civilian on the left. On the right, what the fuck is that? So, when I first started streaming, I was playing Bioshock with myself, Werex Wolf Hayden. I think it's, I was playing with Quinn. Quinn goes by Nana now, I think. But I don't know what they go by at the moment, so shit. And Taddy. And the question came up from Taddy themselves. What if all of your bones were spines, which created a creature called the Spiner? It's a creature made entirely up of spines. Head to toe, spines. It's only spines. The only spines, with that blue lock logo. Why? Why not? Sure, it's a thing. So yeah, that's a throwback. I think Hired was playing something. Only spines TM. Hired was playing something, and I made it just because I was like, I want to experiment, see if I can make one. And so I sent it to Tired, and Tired was like, bruh, what the fuck have you made? But yeah, so the Spiner, trademark, it's a pile of spines, and it sleeps, and when it sleeps, it looks like a pile of spines. So yeah, these things are annoying because they also are very, very quick. I think you were playing Bioshock. I think you were playing Bioshock, because that would have been why I would have done it. Because I would have been like, oh hey, I remember that thing that I talked about that one time. Bioshock is a good game, go play it, if you haven't already. I need to replay it. I might do that. I'm gonna find and send you the clip from Harvester. Okay. Okay, so who's this? I'm gonna go through the people. So, who's Helena? Helena is a person that Simon... Yes, about spines. Cool. Spines. Helena is a person that Simon met on his way to go to fight the Admiral. She was from the previous top-ranking guild at the time, which was the Phoenix Guild. pompous bitch-ass bird guild, basically. They were a bunch of snobs, and like she was not as much of a snob, and Simon was just there, like in a bar. Yes, in the fantasy world, he was in the bar. He was in a tavern asking directions for somewhere because he was like, "Where the fuck do I go?" And Helena was watching as a child was walking in the bar, going like, "Hey, what the fuck is he doing here?" And eventually, it led to Helena sort of being like an older sister because she's a bit older than he is. She's like about at this point, Simon's 12, she's about 20. So she was like, "Well, why is child? Why is there a child in the tavern? That's no." There. She leaves the Phoenix Guild after some debacles, which I might get into later. Um, and joins the Eagles Talon, where she becomes like a sort of second in command under Gregor. Okay. Who's Sierra? I've mentioned Sierra, and I will also give a little bit of extra details about Sierra. So, Sierra is a magic user. She she was part of a group called the Elites. They were a bunch of like really high-ranking adventurers who a bunch of guild councils, like guild council reps, wanted to have like a little Avengers style. Hey, we can just go and call like the elite people and they'll go and take out whatever the fuck we want them to. Simon was hired for this because of his ranking, and Sierra was hired for this because of her ranking. They didn't. They kind of dismantled the thing because there was a betrayal. Sierra's ex partner, yeah, he didn't like the fact that he had to spend so much time with Sierra and Simon. Because Sierra and Simon were hitting it off. They were doing pretty well. They were hanging out. They were basically besties at the time. And yeah, so he got jealous, betrayed. Sierra had to kill him, which was a time. And yeah, after that, Sierra and Simon, they pretty much were kind of like, they were sort of dating, but not. Up until Simon was about 15 and he needed to go and do some other stuff, so the two actually split like apart because they were a partnership for a while. And Sierra got a job as a magic teacher because of Simon basically learning how magic worked through Sierra. At this point, Simon has also killed like several magic users by not using magic, which has kind of put him on a list. Yeah, the wizards do not like Simon. Like the Wizard Council itself absolutely despises Simon just because Simon really annoys the hell out of them. Which I will get to when we talk about Zeke, which is up soon. Here's my boy, the Masked King. This guy. I've talked about him. I have mentioned him numerous times. Masked King. The reason why he says this too, I have spoken about this as well. The Masked King, for those who are unaware, is a man in Simon's world who has the weird ability to have his time not like he experiences all of his time at the same time. He experiences time non-linearly. So while he's talking to Simon currently, he's also talking to Simon when he's dying. Or he's talking to Simon when he's come back from a mission, or he's talking to the first person he's ever met in his life. But that goes a step further when the Masked King is also a being tied to not only this multiverse, or this universe. The Masked King. Now, he can break the fourth wall. We're getting to that. We love a fourth wall break. Gotta love it. So, the Masked King not only is non-linear in his timeline, but is non-linear in every single other one too. If there's a Masked King in your timeline, that means it's the same guy. It's not a different guy. It could be a different body. It's the same guy. The reason why he knows what Twitch chat is because the Masked King is in our timeline. The Masked King is on planet Earth in the year 2024. So, BRB gonna let him get into my TND settings? Sure. So yeah, the Masked King. I will go into the Masked King another time because that's a whole can of worms. But yeah, the Masked King is a being who basically exists and knows of every other instance of existence. But yeah. Anyway, who's this? This, my friends, is the General. Everything, everywhere, all at once equals the Masked King. Actually, yeah. Now that you say that, yeah, pretty much. This is the General. Man has to have a headache. Yeah, he probably would, yeah. One of them has a headache, all of them have a headache. So who's the General? I've talked about the General during Rift lore, because the General is a very important person to Simon. The General is a terrible fucking guy. He is basically what you would consider a warlord, in a way. He is basically a whole walking tank. Nothing penetrates his armor. Nothing hurts him. He has a sword that is so strong it cuts through almost anything. And he has magic on top of that as well. So he is one of the strongest people in Simon's world. Ah, so Dark Souls coded. So true. Simon Cockroach arc. And Simon befriended the General. So the General and Simon the General hated Simon. Because Simon's fast. Simon's quick, and the General's very slow. So Simon just zips around, and the General's annoyed by it. So the General, with his little group and his little band of, like, mercenaries and soldiers, set up a plan to kill Simon on any time that it was on site. But when the General's wife, Bethany, and daughter, Maribel, got hijacked by bandits, they were going from one place to another, and their cart got hijacked by bandits. Simon was in the area, and Simon was like, hey, what happened? To which Bethany was freaking out because this guy, who she is also supposed to be trying to kill, is asking if she's okay, basically threatens his life, and he says, what's happened? Bethany says, like, they've taken my daughter, not that you give a shit. And so Simon, being Simon, goes and saves her. Goes and saves Maribel. He goes and rescues Maribel, and the General's confused as to why. What does Simon want from that? Like, does Simon want favor? Does Simon want the General to pay him money? And Simon says it's the right thing to do, which baffles the General, because he doesn't know what to do with that. He's confused. And which, at that point, sparks the sort of father-son relationship between the two of them. Because Simon sees the General like a father. He also sees Gregor like a father, but more so a godfather. He sees the general like a father. And the general sees Simon like a son, and he wants Simon to be protected and safe and all of the above. No one knows the general's name. The general's name has been scratched out of history, and the only people who know the general's name are him and the guards. And he doesn't even remember his name. But yeah. Who's this? So, these two here. This is Kat on the very far right, and Ezekiel in the middle. I have spoken about Zeke during Rift, but for those who are unaware, Simon, in Simon's world, there's a group called the Wizards Council. They enact laws on magic, they make sure magic is being done right, etc. They're a very corrupt organization. Zeke is a sort of bodyguard for that, called the Champions. The Champions usually specialize in one type of magic. For Zeke, it's ice. For someone else, it's fire. For someone else, it's also, like, earth. Cat is a changeling. Cat being a changeling, in Simon's world, changelings, the race, are very much targeted to be sold, is the word I'm going to use, because I don't want to use the other word, but you get what I mean. Changeling W, for real. But also, oof. Oh no, yeah. So, yeah. Here, Ezekiel is a trader of people, and Kat is his personal assistant. Simon and Kat got a friendship going on, and honestly, Simon fell in love. But the thing with the changelings and the thing with that sort of business, there's a thing called a mark, an S-word mark, which when a trader dies, all of their people that they bought, all of them die too. It's to stop the killing of traders, so that stock, quote unquote, doesn't get stolen. So you kill a trader, you don't get any of their stock. So it's kind of pointless. Simon didn't know this. So when Simon killed Zeke for betraying his little group, because Zeke, Kat, Simon, and a cleric, who I haven't thought the name of yet, Zeke betrayed the group, and Kat was in on it. And so Simon went, oh, I'm gonna kill Zeke, because he was gonna try and feed people to a dragon, which is why Simon does not like dragons. He killed Zeke, and he didn't understand why Kat died too. He was very, very confused. Until he did his research through some of Zeke's belongings and books, where he found a book on the marks, which he found on both Kat and Zeke. This is why the wizards don't like Simon. Simon systematically weeded out and killed about 13 to 14 different wizard people traders pretending to want to buy. Simon stopped the industry from having any sort of basis. And so the Wizard Council wanted to kill Simon for it. But the Masked King stepped up and went, hey, you realize, one, he's about 13, or he's about like 12, 13 here, and two, the Wizard Council's defending people trading. That's a bit suspicious, which it turns out it was suspicious, because 3 people on the council of 7 different wizards were also people traders, and got executed for it. the Wizard Council is a very corrupt system. So yeah, when Simon talks about the wizard absolutely hating him because he killed every wizard, he killed most of the wizards. Because there's a thing in Simon's world called a de-spell bead, which when like thrown at someone, if they have magic, the de-spell bead sprays like a glitter that makes it so they can't use magic for like 10 minutes. Which means no magic weapons, no magic at all, no counterspell, no shield, nothing, so Simon can just stab a bitch. Which is why the wizards fucking hate him, because he keeps doing it. And he's the only one who knows how to make them, since he's an alchemist. And this, Simon Big Pug taking out corrupt wizards, for real. And this, so Simon's about 15 here. So Simon met Summer through a little, like, the guild system wanted to make duos a thing. Because having single adventurers was not a good idea, as if they die, no one knows about it. If you have duos, if both of you die, that's another fucking problem. But if one of you dies, the other knows about it and can report it. And so the guild can write it down. Summer wanted to be an adventurer. And Roger, in the back, was very reluctant on this. Because Roger is Summer's godfather. And Roger is getting payments for having Summer and raising Summer because of royal shit. So Summer and Simon were paired together to both of their disapproval. They didn't like each other at first. Summer thought that Simon was annoying and also very. She sort of saw him as like a reluctant bodyguard. He didn't like him at all at first. And Simon didn't want someone lagging behind. He wanted to just go in, get the thing done, and like leave. But the two of them went on a commission anyway. Summer was quite badly injured by some arrows, which wasn't like super badly injured, but like enough where she had to sit down and like rest. And Simon patched her up and said, "We're gonna go soon. If I'm not back in 10 minutes, go, because I'll probably be dead." Simon came back. The two of he had to carry Summer all the way back. The two of them got to talking, and then they became a duo. They agreed to go on the duo thing, and so yeah. And then the two of them, they were a pretty fierce duo. And Simon proposed to Summer when he was about 18. He waited till he was 18. Oh, also, Summer is a half-elf, I should mention. That probably makes more sense now. Because Summer is also 18, but she's a little older than Simon. Let's see. The guild rep was just a generic person that I went, yeah, we'll add a generic person. Because we needed, like, a reason to have Simon, Roger, Gregor to be talking. Because if it's just Simon, Gregor, and Roger around the table, it's like, oh, well, shit, okay. But if the guild rep is also there to intervene, then yeah. Also, Roger specifically does not like Simon at all, and has tried to kill him on multiple occasions. But Simon didn't notice, and so Simon doesn't really care. Simon knows that Roger doesn't like him, but not to the extent that he tried to kill him. Also, I will talk about the spider's eye, because that's important, but I will also talk about that in a sec. So let's just go through this. When we get to cave, Okay, so here's Summer. Originally, the plan was supposed to be exactly what Rift Simon thinks. Simon wasn't good enough and couldn't save Summer because he wasn't fast enough. That was originally canon. That was supposed to be how it was. But after a bit of time, I thought, that doesn't make sense. Because Simon's quick and wouldn't just get stopped by, spiderwebs, even though spiderwebs are sticky. So I went, bingo. And he kills Summer. Which is why he takes it out on himself so hard. Even though Rift Simon doesn't know about it currently because Rift Simon's brain has kind of gone a bit whack with it, every other Simon pretty much knows about it. So what's happened here is the artifact of the Spider's Eye is possessing Summer. He got scrambled. He got scrambled indeed. So the artifact is possessing Summer, because what happens with the artifact is... Query? What's up? What up, Muff? Also, do I want music on? Because, I mean, I could put something on. Oh, that was a voice crack. I could put something on. I mean, hearing my voice is probably enough. If he'd been able to non-fatally wrangle Summer, could someone have done surgery? Yes. That's also why Simon absolutely despises himself because of this situation. This was avoidable. Because the Spider's Eye is a very, very sticky artifact. It likes to linger in people's bodies if it's possessing them. Oh my god, Abyss is mutilating. This is mutating. No way, I thought the ancient... don't do that. True. I am mutating. I am sorry. But that is mutilating. What the fuck? But yeah, so that's why Simon also kind of hates himself. He didn't have much of a choice. If he was able to wrangle Summer, he could have. He could have waited and kept her there, and someone could have magicked it out of her. The problem with it was... I'll go to the part. She was ready to kill thousands. She was ready to basically go. If Simon figured out a way to completely, like, disarm her and completely just leave her as is, she would have been able to be freed from it, but yeah. He was taught that the only tool was violent. Nod sagely. He kind of tossed it up and he went, I could try and make her non-violent. The problem is there's still a chance she will attack and kill people. So it's really, do I be selfish and kill thousands? Or do I sacrifice one of the most important people in my life for the greater good? Because no one knows what would have happened if the Spider's Eye was taken out, either surgically or magically. Would there have been previous side effects? Like, would this form still be Summer's regular body? What would that affect her biology? Would she survive much longer because of the mutations? A real trolley problem indeed. Indeed. But yeah, so Simon had to weigh that up. And so yeah, he went, alright, I have to kill her. Because otherwise I'm risking the lives of innocents. And that's his justice getting in the way of himself. AU where Summer lives and just has spider disabilities, that is definitely an AU. I haven't thought about that, but yeah, that's definitely an AU. Because I will go through the AUs that I do have. I do have a whole bunch I didn't even get to put in here. But, yeah. So, anyway, yeah, so Summer Days here. Okay, so what happened here is the normal canon ending for Simon. What is intended, quote unquote, for the timeline. Simon goes through and kills evildoers. Kills a lich, kills his world's god of war, and kills a whole bunch of demigods because they're all corrupt. And that's what's supposed to happen. He's supposed to go through that, do all that. He ends up marrying Sierra, which is what he's meant to be doing anyway. Like, that's his main partner. That's who he ends up with. But obviously there are timelines where that doesn't happen, or timelines where he ends up with Summer. But he mainly ends up with Sierra. There's Villain AU, where Simon gave in to grief, created a firearm, and started just becoming a vigilante and assassin. To the point where he couldn't stop. He couldn't stop, and he kills people that he cares about because they're trying to stop him. Because they see him as a bad guy at that point. And he doesn't want to be a bad guy. Simon invents guns. Simon invents guns in his world, yeah. No one knows what to do with that. Like, Simon invented the fact of prosthetics in his world. That's why he's the lead mechanic in his world as well. Which is why Simon, in Rift, really fucking hates it when people start telling him he's really bad at stuff, because he's literally the lead mechanic in his world. But yeah, so Simon made gun and started killing people, and he took on smoking cigar because funny. What happened here is Simon, instead of creating a metal arm, took an arm off a corpse and went, "This is temporary." But it wasn't temporary. He used corpses to replace body parts that started decaying because of necrotic magic. Necrotic magic started to affect him and his mind to the point where he actually started to go insane. He started window shopping for body parts. He would go, "Ooh, you have nice hands," and take them from you. Not kill you, take them from you. Very validating the hell out of because she recognizes Simon's abilities. Hell yeah. Big appreciated. But yeah, so Simon here becomes his world's lich. And the fact that Simon could actually damage the general's armor on the right there proves just how strong he becomes in this world, because that armor has gone through hell and is not even chipped. And also he goes insane, and so people actually have to stop him, and that's why Sierra's sad on the left. And this one's a nod. This one is Blight. This one's Blight. So there's myself, Eternal Abyss, on the left. We have Darling Phobias in the middle, and we have Aesthetic on the right. Because what was going to happen in Blight was we had a little group called the Outcasts. Because everyone else in the server had little groups and had their own little factions, except for myself, Dar, and M. Because myself being a mercenary was not tied to one banner. And Darling Phobias just... I'm not sure exactly why Darling Phobias didn't, but yeah. And M, I believe, was because of Ender Dragon stuff. I need to go through the lore on that again. But yeah, this was a nod to that because, yeah, that was originally what was supposed to happen, and I was supposed to do Simon's lore through Blight, but that didn't end up happening because shit happens. And of course, I had to put Rift in there. Sometimes we truly never find out where some Simons end up, which is a nod to the fact that literally this Simon vanished. The only reason that the Masked King knows Simon's whereabouts is because the Masked King is in our world and has been watching the streams. That's the only reason why, like, the Masked King even knows where Simon is. Because, yeah, when Simon's world was consumed, they moved. Like, they moved the world. Like, the Masked King went, that's not happening again. I'm supposed to defend stuff from, like, I'm supposed to defend the worlds from multiversal threats. I failed to do that with this one. Not happening again. And it won't happen again. Any Simon that exits their own world is doing it by choice, not because they got taken. But yeah, this Simon in Rift is completely different to other Simons. But yeah. And I wanted to go through... So, these infinite choices and changes I wanted to go through. So, top left. I've called that one the General's Son. Instead of Gregor giving Simon a job, the Masked King supports the bestie in Rift by watching Eternal Abyss on Twitch.tv. So true. I have actually wanted to make a Twitch account called the Masked King, but some other person already has that handle, so I can't do that. Sad days. But, yeah, so the top left, instead of Gregor coming to get Simon, it's the General. The General adopts Simon much earlier. So when Simon's about 8, the General shows up and, with his wife Bethany, goes, that kid gets into a lot of trouble, but he's got a lot of fight and justice in him. And the General sort of has that realization that he had when Simon rescued Maribel. Then he kind of went, justice is important. And then trained Simon to be a very, very strong warrior. That Simon wearing armor is a lot stronger than Simon will ever be, because purely he's trained in armor and he's also really quick still. Top right is Horror Abyss. This is a just what if. It's basically the Eagle's Talon Guild got burnt down, and the rage and vengeance of all the guild members manifested into a being. This being is purely just like a walking ghost. But it walks around and tries to kill people that have wronged it, or wronged people that it was created by. It does take commissions and requests at the ruin site. So if people drop coins and say, look, I need someone killed because they're corrupt, you'll expect a shade to walk over to them and kill that person they targeted. Bottom left is Magic Abyss. Magic Abyss is Abyss given gold blood. I haven't talked about that this stream. Simon's world has 3 tiers of blood. Red, you can't use magic, you can't use artifacts. Silver, you can use artifacts but not magic. Gold, you can use artifacts and magic. Simon, majorly, has silver blood. Because, funny if he doesn't have magic. Some have gold, very few have red. And also, no, the blood is just a tier system that's not actually changing their color. That would be interesting, but no. So that one down at the bottom left was given gold blood and became a mage instead of a fighter. And also has his parents alive, which is also a thing. And on the bottom right, we have Royal Simon, or King Simon. When Simon is in royalty, generally he is not the nicest person. He's kind of corrupt. just because he has his own ways of doing things, and it's not really up to standard. But yeah. So, in this page is more the ones that affect Simon and affect afterwards. So we have top left, which is Robot Simon. Robot Simon is purely... It's what happens when Simon dies, and Summer, being a mechanic, created a robot version of Simon out of grief, which that robot version of Simon believed so much that it was Simon that it became Simon. That robot Simon eventually does get killed by a resurrected Simon, but that's a story for another day. We have on the top right, we have Perfect Simon. Nothing bad happens in this timeline. Everyone's alive. Not the AI Simon. Also, hi Sushi, welcome in. Nothing bad happens at all. Simon has all the information that he needs for every instance. Like, he will have conveniently learnt about the marks, so he saves Cat. He will have saved Summer because of, like, the learning about the artifact beforehand, and he would have had help in rescuing Summer. The bottom left, I wanted to just show off a different variant of the... what I called a Drider. Basically just the spider being story writing. I've actually finished my story. I'm going through and talking about it now. This was my character's lore. Because I've changed my design currently. I'm now going with this, so I'm talking about my previous design's lore. But yeah, I wanted to give that a design purely for the fact that Simon in Rift doesn't know that Summer is the spider, and so he created a whole new creature just based on it. And yeah, bottom right is what if Summer was the one who went to go save Simon. I like the outfit for this new avatar. Thank you. DJ made it, and they are very good. But yeah, I've been trying to get an angel skin for ages, and I'm very glad I have it. Thank you, DJ. Thank you, Junie. But yeah, the bottom right is what if Simon went to go do the task instead? And yeah, Simon gets infected, and Summer loses her other arm. Summer loses her right arm because symmetry. And now, for the ones that are kind of just wild, go for it, wacky even. So this is actually Angel Abyss's origin. Because I haven't spoken too much about it. Angel Abyss here, and his goddess on the left, and his quote-unquote god, ex-god, on the right. His god, or his ex-god, summoned Simon from a random world, stole him, and plopped him in their world, because they needed a sacrifice. But didn't tell this Simon that he was a sacrifice. Just said, I need you to help me stop a war. I'm also helping a friend redo his VTuber model. Oh, nice. This god betrayed Simon, and this war that involved angels and demons, they all turned on Simon because he was a sacrifice. His goddess, on the left there, was trapped because the god on the right wanted death to be non-existent. And because the goddess on the left is the goddess of death. She granted Abyss, because Abyss is Abyss in this world, not Simon, Abyss power, and said, go for it. Kill them all, I will grant you power and freedom. And so he did just that. And so he basically, he and his goddess basically killed every single angel and demon in that world. And so Angel Abyss gained a hell of a lot of power. And yeah, the two of them actually left their world and went elsewhere. They went to another world because they can do that. Simon got isekai'd, very true. Alright, what is the next one? The next one is... Okay, this one's funny. The multiverse is vast. I love this. Thank you. I love my take on the multiverse, because I know the multiverse is like a whole thing, but I like... Because I know I want to say I thought of it first and the movies did, but I had more of these ideas before the multiversal thing in the movies became a thing. I had more of this idea after Spider-Verse came out, the first one. There was like vast differences, which not a lot of things do, which I hate. You need vast differences in your multiverses, because physics probably doesn't work the same in every world. That's like the only good thing about Multiverse of Madness, which I don't recommend watching, but I guess tiny spoilers. There are worlds in that which are briefly shown, but the physics in them are broken. Like, there's a world where if you go in there, you'll paint for a minute. And stuff like that. So, yeah, the multiverse is vast, and I love just having, like, one guy, but it's all the different timelines of that guy. What is this? This is Abyss and Tired Rabbit playing Portal. You see how there's the little bubbles next to my head? I was drunk. I did the first Portal drunk. And Tired was like, Abyss, what the fuck? Tired helped me out on both portals while I was off my face. To be fair, the second one I didn't drink as much because I was like, I felt really bad after the first one. But yeah, the first one I went hard, and I was really fucking drunk. But yeah, so that's what this one is. Constant of existence. A fixed person who must live within the world, laws of the universe they inhabit. Yeah. That's kind of like the Simon Abyss multiverse. Okay, what's this? So, this one's funny. Um, this started as a bit because I made an outfit for the FNAF lore stream that I did with Virus Garden and Darling Phobias. I made an outfit that was a security guard outfit, and Ty made fan art of it. FNAF mentioned. Ty made fan art of it, and so it kind of was just like, it's an AU now, I guess. And I was like, I want to put something in here to show off the different multiverses, and here you go. Simon's about to get his frontal lobe stolen, or he's about to get stuffed in a suit. Either way, he's getting killed, probably. It's fun to do because I also get self-insert with my persona, and the possibilities are fascinating to experiment with. Yeah, because when I was a kid, I used to self-insert, as everyone probably did. But honestly, I feel more myself when I'm talking about Simon than I do myself, which is strange. But yeah. So me adding Simon into different things is basically just self-inserting. I love adding to your AUs. Please add more if you ever find stuff to do. Because yeah, I will talk about some more AUs later, but yeah. Oh, also, while I think about it, there is an Owl House AU for Abyss, because when the series was ending, Virus Garden, Taddy, and the rest of the Odyssey crew, they were talking about it, and I didn't see it. I've never seen. I have now. I didn't see the Owl House originally, so when they went, "Hey, the season's ending," they threw me into it as one of the Coven Scouts. And I didn't know what that meant at the time, but then I started watching it and I was like, this is really great. I love the Owl House. I'm so upset that they finished it because of fucking Disney. Just fun and based. AO. I'm actually working on a crossover AU of Pokemon and Fairy Tail. Ooh, nice. I need to finish Fairy Tail. I started watching it, just didn't finish it. I might rewatch it. Someone needs to hold me accountable on that. Okay, so what's this? This is technically Odyssey, technically not. So what's Odyssey? Odyssey is the group that myself, Mstatic, Virus Garden, Patty, Lux, Schmo, Dark, whole heap of other people are in. We haven't had a thing for a while, but that was actually how Angel Abyss started. Angel Abyss was me making a skin based on an origin that we picked, because Odyssey was an origin server with like a whole bunch of other mods. I didn't like the original cast of Origins, so I don't remember if I was given an Archangel or actually no, I think I was in call with Mstatic, and she was like, "Oh yeah, there's an Archangel one if you want to do that," because we were looking at custom ones for them as well, because they wanted an Ender Dragon type one, which they got, which is cool. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'll do an Archangel, because that's different. And yeah, that just sprouted. Fairy Tail's my fave series since middle school. Hell yeah, I need to watch it, as I said. You need to, like, grab me and force me to watch it. But yeah, so, the only difference between this is Odyssey. This Abyss wasn't in Odyssey. This Abyss was supposed to be in Odyssey 2, which I don't know what's happening with that. So on the right, we have Virus Garden, who is our resident spider and FNAF enjoyer. And on the left, we have Bee Taddy, because Taddy was a bee, and Taddy will probably be a bee again. But I am a shroom. I am a mushroom. I am a shroom lord, which is basically just magic mushrooms. Which, not in that way. Not in that kind of way, but in the magical druid kind of way. And I wanted it to be like the fungus sort of took over and went a bit too much. So yeah, there's that. Yay, fungi, fungi. But yeah, funny thing, when making this, I had a discussion about whether Skulk was a fungus, like with Taddy, which we kind of came to the conclusion that it was, because it basically is. And so there is actually a Skulk variant of Mushroom Abyss, which I should probably find, but yeah. What are these? So, middle one, some people might recognize. That is God of War. Lord Fungal Hivemite, basically, yeah. The middle one is the God of War Abyss, which you've seen if you watched me play Hades. I actually don't have it on this video tube, so I gotta add it later. But because I gotta fix it up. But yeah, so the God of War was purely because myself and the Odyssey crew were thinking of God AUs, and I got assigned the God of War. On the left is Demon Abyss, because you need to have a demon if you have an angel. And on the right is what I call Stardust Abyss. Because that's what it is. This was I wanted to make... Yeah, fuck off. When Art Fight was happening, I didn't jump into Art Fight until maybe about halfway through. But I liked the colors for Stardust, so I thought, hey, what would be a cool thing I could do with the color scheme? So I color swapped and made Stardust Abyss, who is basically just a cosmic fighter. And that's basically it. He has the powers of a star and etc. I don't know, I might flesh him out a bit more later. Anyway, next page was this one. Okay, so this one. Hired came into my chat one day and asked me about... I don't exactly remember what you asked, but yeah, it's Dark Angel Abyss. It's what happens if, instead of pulling Simon from a world and going, hey, you need to be a sacrifice, and etc. They pulled a Simon that would have become a villain and gone, hey, you're gonna be a sacrifice. And yeah. So, why is he locked away? So, the Archangel Abyss has a habit of just completely wiping out life. Dark Angel Abyss hates life as a whole, full stop. In his world, he didn't stop at angels and demons. He killed gods, he killed humans, he killed anything that was a thing. If it existed, it was probably gonna be destroyed. But the thing that I like to say with him is, when everything was said and done, and there was nothing, Dark Angel Abyss could hear whispers. Whispers beyond the veil. And was wondering where he could hear those whispers. Because nothing should be alive. He killed everything. But he could hear the universe that neighbored his. And he could claw his way out. He could rip open space and time with his hands to escape. And he has done it a few times, and he did wipe out a few universes. Till one of the Masked Kings went, nope, not happening, stop it, and basically locked him away. Love him so much. Hell yeah, I love him as well. And who knows, maybe there's something that I've got planned with him. Wink wink. But anyway, so yeah, that's Dark Angel Abyss. Love this little guy. One thing I also really love, and this line goes so hard when it's in context with this. The line being, I don't need my eyes to see you. Because he can see without his eyes. Because there's a whole thing with the angels and stuff that they actually don't need their physical forms. Like, for example, me right now, this is a form I've chosen. My actual physical form is incomprehensible. If I revealed my full form to you, you wouldn't know what to make of it. This form is just what I've chosen for aesthetics. This is the form that you, the viewer, find the most comforting to see me as. Which I appreciate, because I can change my form at will. I can add things, remove things, change my face, etc. I can shift it to whatever I need to make whatever person comfortable, or for my own amusement, or for my own curiosity. I am a very versatile little guy. But yeah, I should go through my power set. I might do that after. I might do that in a minute. But yeah, that's it. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So, the only other things that I've got to mention are the credits. So, who's everyone in the credits? You've got myself, you've got the wonderful DJ, you've got the wonderful Coda, you've got the wonderful Taddy, and the wonderful Dove, and the wonderful Ren. I don't have a thing for Ren, so unfortunately, couldn't put one there for them, but yeah. Let me also... I'm gonna play an ad, just so I can talk about stuff for the last, few minutes. I'm gonna just sit and chat for a bit. That's me right there. That's you right there. That's the bestie right there. I'm gonna play an ad. You might not get caught in it, but I will just hang tight for 3 minutes. One day you're gonna start streaming. There's gonna be a whole different person there. Maybe. But so yeah, what's actually here? Actually, I won't talk about this for a sec. I'll wait till the ad's over. Because yeah, I need to play an ad so I don't have any more showing up for the rest of the stream. Because that would be preferred. But yeah. Any questions? I've spoken a lot. I've talked a lot today. Do we have any questions? Do you have any queries for me? Wonder why I do things the way I did. Who the fuck is this on the credit screen, which I'll talk about soon, but yeah. Just gonna respond to a few messages. I should probably make like an ad jail. Actually, I do have an ad jail thing, never mind. Anyone send me any Discord notifications? I have Discord muted at the moment. Someone did. But yeah, also tomorrow I might play Fields of Mystria. I'm kinda wanting to play more Sunhaven. So what are we thinking? Fields of Mystria or Sunhaven? Because if it's one, it's not gonna be the other. Why is my drink gone warm? I'm gonna throw a couple of you around just while we're here. Hey, yeet. Everyone is going. Fields of Mystria? Cool, I'll probably play that. How's the debut? It's going well. Thank you very much for asking. Bombs away. Yeah, I wanted to screw around with this for a minute. Oh, I can do this. Exclamation mark jump and you'll jump into some stars. There we go. Hell yeah, everyone's jumping. Alright, ads are done. I can stop fucking around with this. Um, where was I? Where was I? Good question. Oh yeah, I was talking about this. So, I don't have a thing for Ren, so that's why Ren doesn't have a little PNG thing, because I don't know what to do for Ren. I actually haven't made Dove one of their persona, so I grabbed Gubby. I didn't think of anything else for that. But Taddy's design's a bit like I don't know if Taddy has settled on a design yet, but that's what I made for him. I'm a Pokemon. Yeah, you're a crocodile. Alright, so what's happening in the like thing there? I wanted to have I want to have like a movie set, like a movie lot. Which was actually really hard to find like references for, which was stupid. But yeah, I found stuff. So what's happening is everyone here is an actor, is what I'm trying to portray. Like the summer monster that is there is getting painted on them to look like blood. Simon's waving to the camera because he's like documenting this. The general and Sierra in the background are talking. You have the worker painting Sierra, and you have Kat and the other worker in the background just talking about like the script or some lines that Kat needs to say. And yeah, aside from that, that's pretty much it. Do we have any questions? Any queries? Anything? I do not mind. Speak your mind. Let me put back my stream deck, which I put down for some reason. Do I have anything else I can do? Not really, no. I think that's kind of it. Well, in that case, I don't want to end stream, but I mean, I kind of did a lot, so I'm going to. Yeah, let me go to my just chatting. I gotta figure out what to make for the just chatting screen, but so far it's just this. Yeah, I want to thank you all for your continued support of just you being here, being in the Discord, being on Twitter. Literally every single piece of assistance or every single piece of support is appreciated. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. New channel point icon. Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. New channel point icon and new emotes. And yeah, they're called metal feathers now. But yeah. So yeah, thank you so much for the support. Every little piece is appreciated. No matter if it's just you sticking around, a donation, a follow, a sub, everything is appreciated. Literally, you even just thinking about me is probably more appreciated than you think. Do I have anything to talk about aside from that? Next week, so from here on, this is the new persona. Everything is going to be changing to this. So, yeah, I think we're going to be sticking with the normal setup. I don't think I'm going to be changing too much. Currently, we're still playing not Coral Island. I want to get Coral Island. We're still playing Sunhaven. And what else will we? We have Pokemon and we have a few other games that we need to finish. And yeah, I can't think of anything else I need to mention about that. So tomorrow, Fields of Mysteria. Next Friday will probably be Sunhaven. Oh, not next week, week after. I'm going to be streaming more because I have a 2-week break from school, so we'll be doing more. And yeah, so we have yeah, fuck it, we'll go raid someone. Who do we want to go raid? Do you have anyone in mind that we want to raid? Sure, we're gonna raid Sally. We'll raid Sally, why not? Sally's playing the Plucky Squire, which looks neat, actually. It looks genuinely cool. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna thank you all so much for watching. I'm gonna put my links and stuff in chat. Thank you so much. This took ages. This took a fucking while. Thank you to everyone who assisted with art, who assisted with backgrounds, who assisted with just being here and moral support, who dealt with me talking about it so fucking much. I will shut up about it now. Good stream, thank you. Amazing stream, thank you very much. We are gonna go raid Sally, who seems to have frozen on theirs. No, okay, they're fine. Have a good rest of your time zone, chat. Thank you for the stream abyss. Thank you all so much for hanging around. Go give Sally an angel raid. We're gonna do a new thing because this is my default now. So angel raid to Sally Sky VT. Go say hi. Go give them a lot of support. Go, I don't know, give them hugs. I don't know if they want hugs, but hugs. And yeah, I'll catch you tomorrow for Fields of Mystria. So take it easy, everyone. Have a lovely morning, noon, or night. Take it easy, everyone. See ya.